It's a story we all knew that the music publications, including Rolling Stone, was probably going to write at some point. Whenever a famous rock star dies, it's typical of the press to do a piece like this, but when Rolling Stone did a piece on Foo Fighters drummer Taylor Hawkins and his last days, the magazine received significant blowback. That's what we're going to discuss in today's video. In March of this year, rock fans were shocked to learn that longtime Foo Fighters drummer Taylor Hawkins passed away while the band was on tour in Colombia. He would pass away at the age of 50. Following the announcement of his death, Foo Fighters would cancel their remaining tour dates and return to America. Since the news of their drummer's passing, the band would stay pretty quiet on their future, understandably so. The Rolling Stone piece would claim the magazine interviewed upwards of 20 people who were close to the drummer, including his friends, while the drummer's family, the band, and their management refused to be interviewed for the story. However, Foo Fighters management did refute some of the points that made it into the article. The story would state, and I quote, "Prior to Foo Fighters' supersized post-pandemic comeback, Hawkins felt hesitant about returning to the road and wasn't sure he'd be able to remain a full-time member if they continued to tour at this pace," these friends say. Even though he kept himself in decent shape according to his friends, he felt vexed by the physicality required to play nearly 3-hour concerts night after night. One of those interviewed by Rolling Stone was Pearl Jam drummer Matt Cameron, who told the publication he had a heart-to-heart with Dave, and yeah, he told me he couldn't effing do it anymore. Those were his words. I guess they did come to some understanding, but it just seems like the touring schedule got even crazier after that. A band like that is a big machine with a lot of people on the payroll, so you've got to be really cognizant of the business side of something when it's that big, and that has inherent pressure, just like any business, he'd say. Prior to joining Foo Fighters, Hawkins had played with an artist named Sass Jordan, who still remained close with the drummer years later, and she would echo a similar sentiment in the article, as did another friend who chose to remain anonymous. It would be that anonymous friend who claimed it took Hawkins nearly a year to have a heart-to-heart talk with Grohl about his feelings, but the band's management refuted all these points, claiming there was never a heart-to-heart talk with Grohl, and that Hawkins never expressed his reservations about touring so much. Red Hot Chili Peppers drummer Chad Smith was also interviewed for the piece and was a close personal friend of Hawkins, and he would tell the magazine that in December of 2021, the drummer collapsed on the band's plane, resulting in Foo Fighters canceling a show in the Middle East. Smith would tell Rolling Stone, and I quote, "He just said he was exhausted and collapsed, and they had to pump him full of IVs and stuff. He was dehydrated and all kinds of stuff." The band's management also claimed the drummer did not collapse as reported in the story. The anonymous friend would claim that Hawkins was misled by the band's management about how many live shows the group would do going forward, and that he repeatedly complained to management, something they also refuted. Not long after the story was published, both Chad Smith and Matt Cameron backed away from their comments in the story, claiming they were misquoted and the article was over-sensationalized. Cameron would take to social media writing, "When I agreed to take part in the Rolling Stone article about Taylor, I assumed it would be a celebration of his life and work. My quotes were taken out of context and shaped into a narrative I never intended. Taylor was a dear friend and a next-level artist. I miss him. I have only the deepest love and respect for Taylor, Dave, and the Foo Fighters families. I'm truly sorry to have taken part in this interview, and I apologize that my participation may have caused harm to those whom I only have the deepest respect and admiration." Chad Smith, meanwhile, would echo a similar sentiment, writing on his social media, "Taylor was one of my best friends and I would do anything for his family. I was asked by Rolling Stone to share some memories of our time together, which I thought was going to be the loving tribute he deserved. Instead, the story they wrote was sensationalized and misleading, and had I known, I would have never agreed to participate. I apologize to his family and musical friends for any pain that I may have caused. I miss Taylor every day," he'd write. That does it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like button and subscribe. We'll see you again in Rock and Roll Stories.